We're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Changing the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I'm pretty certain I'm slightly echoing through Austin's mic.
That means that it's a day starting with M and ending in Y.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there are literal. No, there's no other day other than Monday.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's not potentially other days as well, but it's definitely that.
But welcome back to this Changing the Lost Second Edition Chronicle. I am William Shawnee, and I am your storyteller. And joining me today, we have Austin, whose mic I am echoing.
Hi, I'm a cat.
And you're playing?
Tell about your character.
Hey, my actual persona is a maned wolf. Thank you very much. But no, I am playing. I'm Austin, and I'm playing Frank and Lisa, who are beastkin, and one is a polychromatic, and the other one is a lethopomp.
I could have just said, "Oh," and they are a lot.
This is also true.
And Katie?
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Joe, who is an elemental notary. See, that was nice and simple, Austin.
And
It's not what I do.
And Drevian?
Drevian, I'm playing Frisian, the Darkling Hunterheart.
And Jeremy?
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Jackson Montgomery or Marlena Dubois, who is a Ferris Chatelaine.
And Julian?
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Cassandra Scott, not Cassandra Clare, like I claimed last week, who is an elemental polychromatic.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich, believe women, happy greed month. It's my birthday tomorrow, so there's that.
Happy early birthday.
Yep.
Congratulations on living another year.
Made one more rotation around this burning orb.
And
Yay.
fuck off, Jonathan Majors. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Oh, jeez, that's. Ugh.
I mean,
I seem to have missed something, but I'm assuming it's entertainment news.
The guy who played King in Loki and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was convicted today on assault and harassment charges involving a domestic partner from March, and has been officially finally dropped. Yeah, dropped from the MCU.
Oh yeah, because in all like any behind the scenes or like promotional material from Loki, like they like not there.
Yeah,
nobody mentions him. Like no interviews, nothing. Like
yep.
So
yeah, they were in a weird spot for about the last 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And finally, he got convicted
today. I did not recognize that name because he's not in any promotional material at this point.
No, he wasn't. Not for the first season or second season of Loki.
No. Very pointed in the promotional materials.
He was going to have a whole Avengers team up movie around him. That's not the case anymore.
Yeah,
one of the upcoming ones is, I think it's the next one, is literally titled The Avengers, The Kang Dynasty.
Oh,
dude.
They're going to need a new Kang.
Yeah, no, that's the word, is that they are still moving ahead with the movie, which means they'll be recasting, which is easy to do with this particular role.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
For reasons.
There are many reasons you can easily recast Kang.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was literally introduced in Loki season 1 as a Kang variant. So, you know.
Yeah.
But
yay, sci-fi.
When last we left our motley, plans had been in the offing regarding how to deal with the fetches of Joe's family, including the fetch that is taking upon the life of her husband, James. Several various ideas were floated. Everything from just walk in and murder them to make it look like an accident to send them on a vacation that they will never return from to several other options. I don't know if the group actually decided on one they were going to go with, but I believe that current plans are to at least get a meeting with them so that they can case their house and identify potential options going forward from there.
Somehow, yes, that is. I believe that is the plan because we
Somebody
can't get
was-
enough information outside of that.
Yeah, somebody was getting plans on the layout of the house. Probably Valona. I don't know, a week is a long time.
Fair.
I believe Bologna just asked for give me a day or two, essentially, to
Yeah.
hear back from Fixer.
Yeah.
But they are fairly certain that they can get you the plans to the building and potential layouts and potentially even camera access if need be.
And I seem to remember I mean, I know Joe had like another crisis of conscience. Yet again.
Because it's a day ending in Y.
A day ending in Y, exactly. And she and Valona were about to go into the other room and have like, hey, how
Yes,
do I
that
kill a
was
fetch
where-
that
that
looks
was
like
where
my
we were gonna-
significant other?
That was where we were going to pick up.
It's a
yes.
very
So,
tiny group.
starting with the two of you, as the two of you walk off into a different room, a study. So the walls are lined with books. There's a lot of paper and material here, which helps deafen sound going through walls. As you walk in, Tyr shuts the door behind you, and sort of walks over to a nearby chair, pulls it over, and just sits in it.
Joe doesn't sit down, Joe paces.
So what's going through your head right now?
I'm going to have to kill something with the face of my husband. And I know it has to be done. And if it has to be done, I want to be the one to do it. But I'm I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to be on the other side of that decision.
And that's a fair question. To be fair, I don't think I'm anywhere near the same person that I was before that event happened. So I don't know that there is a way that you can really tell going forward or back.
I have to ask, and you don't have to answer, but did you know what was going on when you had to?
Not really. I mean, I knew something fucked up had just happened. I watched something that looked like a walking tree coming out of painting snatch my wife and pull her into said painting, and then leaned out and dropped off a thing that it made out of twigs and pieces on the spot that turned into a copy of my wife.
But you knew it wasn't her.
And I mean, it might have been because I didn't really have the benefit of forethought, and maybe it'll apply the same to you, maybe it won't. But for me, all I felt was rage.
Right.
Complete, uncompromising, all encompassing fury that this fucking thing had just taken the love of my life and dared to put a fake fucking contraption in her place.
Yeah.
I just kind of moved and killed it.
Did it even have an opportunity to say anything?
I don't think I gave it one. A lot of that incident is a blur, but it was very fast.
I mean, that's fair, and I don't want to make you unpack it.
And once it was done, there wasn't a body left. It was just a pile of sticks and twigs and cloth again. It just looked like somebody had been carrying a piece for an exhibit that got dropped at that point.
Right.
I think what caused the most distress and trauma that you fortunately don't have to deal with was the aftermath of not knowing what Cassandra's fate was.
Right.
Whether or not that thing that I killed had been made of what was left of my wife and she was just now gone forever, or if she was out there somewhere.
Right.
You know, no matter what happens, whether you kill this thing or you don't, that your husband is still here next to you. The real one.
Yeah. I mean, I know that this all probably sounds very silly to you because it's not really the same circumstances at all, is it?
Similar enough that I understand the feeling.
I mean, am I just overreacting?
I don't think there's such a thing as an overreaction to something like this. I think there's just a reaction. Overreaction implies that you're doing more than the situation calls for. I don't think there's a more appropriate situation for a big reaction than this.
I mean, I know I have my husband. I know that it's not real. I know that it has to be done. I know for some foolhardy reason that I want to be the one to do it.
If you need that to give you closure, we can make sure it happens.
I need it sounds messed up. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm really not. I know I tend to be, but I need I need this is gonna sound even worse. I need firsthand experience to know that this thing is no longer in existence. That this thing is dead.
I get it.
And if somebody else did it, I feel like it'd always be a specter, even in the hands of a professional, assassin.
I'm gonna ask you based on that. Do your hands need to be the ones holding the trigger, or do you just need to be in the room when it happens?
I need to do it. I need to do it, and because I'm gonna have to live with At this point, it's just a matter of which trauma do I want to live with. Do I want to live with the trauma of not pulling the trigger, so to speak, or do I want to and putting this in somebody else's hands, or do I want the trauma of pulling the trigger? I mean,
Well,
this is not a clean situation either way. There's going to be trauma.
I'm sure if you were to ask Jackson out there, they would say that you shouldn't feel any kind of bad about killing a thing that isn't alive. But I know that's not how we process things.
That's
It looks
not-
alive, it acts alive, it feels alive until it becomes a pile of sticks. Even if it isn't, that level of detachment doesn't always come easy.
I just can't. I wish I
I-
could.
I fight things that look and act less alive than these things do every day. It still doesn't come with a full degree of detachment.
That thing is going to be using his voice and wearing his face. And I'm going to have to see, because it's not going to be sticks when I pull the trigger. It's not going to be sticks until after it happens. And that's an image I'm going to have to live with. But
If it helps any.
again, it's pick your trauma.
If it
That's it.
helps any, it knows that it's not who it's being made to imitate. So at a certain point, when it knows that deception is no longer going to work, it tends to drop the act. And while it might wear James's face, it might not necessarily act as if, oh no, you're my wife trying to kill me, if it knows that's not. They tend to revert to, I almost want to say animal instinct, but they're not even really animals.
No.
And that's a clinical understanding that only comes with several years of learning how to hunt various kinds of monsters. And I still am not fully detached.
I think then you would be the monster.
Maybe. What's the line? Beware you who fight the devil, lest you be brought by inches to wield his sword.
I mean, I guess what it really boils down to is that I'm a control freak and I want to see it done.
Remember, if it gets too much, there will be other people in the room who can do it. If you suddenly decide that you can't.
I mean, I'm never going to be able to do the job that you do. But I need to do this.
It takes a very particular person to do the job that I do. Someone who can get angry always.
Bruce Banner.
It takes someone who can call upon the kind of righteous fury at someone undermining the safety of humankind to put aside the kind of misgivings that you and I have about taking a life, even if it's not really a life. And I can get that kind of angry in a moment.
Oh no, I believe you. what I'm trying to say is I don't exactly want to make this a habit, but I do want to take care of it myself.
Then don't try and distance yourself from it if you don't want to make it a habit, because the instant you make it something that's easy to do, it's easy to do again. If you don't want to make a habit of it, it shouldn't be something that you can do easily.
Oh no, I didn't say it was going to be easy. I just said it's something I had to do.
It is something that I do easily at this point. I don't know what that makes me. But
That's why you hunt monsters, and that's why I worked in a bookstore. I don't really do anything now.
always get a new job. Open up your own bookstore.
And once all this is over,
I'm fairly certain Jackson wouldn't miss half of these.
I am not stealing books.
I mean, you don't have to steal. You can just ask Jackson, hey, do you want any of the shit in this study? Because I'm pretty certain Jackson will never read half of
Oops. I don't know that this is the kind of literature that I want to sell in a bookstore.
Oh, no, I mean, like, there's the manifestos over there that you throw in a bonfire, but there's the, like, over here you've actually got, like, high literature and stuff. Like, this was a rich person's study. Like, the bullshit political manifestos are in the corner where you just throw them away. Everything else, like, there's actual literature here. He says, looking across the shelves.
I'm aware that I am not that I am not hearing this. I am still reacting with the level of offense that Jackson would be showing.
I think, number one, books are very heavy, and people would notice if you're trying to sneak them out the door. Number two, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to. You can never judge a book by its cover.
I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying I recognize some of these titles as actually good books. Because, I mean, I'm married to a writer.
We'll see. I mean, when all this is said and done, I'll also have enough capital to...
I was about to say, you're about to be taking over a family with a lot of money. Jackson just took over a lot of money. My wife has a lot of money. And is your sister. Like, there are ways to open up a bookstore.
Oh, yeah. I think I would like that. I would say when everything slows down, but everything's not going to slow down.
We live in a story now. Things move at their own pace.
You really wicked story times.
Oh, yeah. So, you have to go out there?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Thanks for the talk.
Glad to help out. Any way I can.
Appreciate it.
I'll open the door and head out.
There we go.
And as Tyr walks out, they just sort of call across to Jackson. You know, some of the books in that study really should go in the trash.
I have been in possession of this home and the contents inside it for all of about 36 hours. something like that. I have not had time to catalog and throw out all of the objectionable material. That is generally something you do after you murder things that don't exist or that aren't really alive.
I would be happy to go through your library free of charge.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm pretty
Get in
certain I
line.
saw at least one manifesto by a certain mustachioed German.
All right, burn the house, burn everything.
See Frisian over on the couch start patting his pockets, seeing he has a lighter.
That was a joke. Mostly.
Nah, Marlena,
No, go ahead.
I do have to ask. What is your taste in literature? Do you have a favorite book?
Oh dear God. You know, it's been so long since I've even thought about that. I did once upon a time.
Mhm.
And I honestly don't even remember. I can tell you what I will like when I see it, though.
I'd like to know people's favorite books. Tell me something about them.
I mean, that's fair. So, what are we doing exactly?
Whatever it is we're doing, I'm pulling the trigger, so to speak.
Are you ready for that?
Understandable.
You know, I'm picking my trauma. If somebody else does the job, there'll always be a question mark. If I do it myself, there's a haunting image, but there's no question. But I don't plan on getting used to it because that's not who I am. All jokes about stabbing people aside.
Understandable.
Stabbing doesn't have to be fatal anyway. I don't know what the big deal is.
This is absolutely true. It's understandable. I mean, as I will continue to point out, killing a fetch is not killing a person.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. If you delete one of these chatbot things that I've been hearing about,
AI?
sure.
Artificial intelligence?
Is that killing a person?
Maybe not right now, but in the future, we're going to start getting into some really blurry theological lines as the advancement of technology marches on.
That is entirely fair. I am talking about right now.
Well, you can't really kill an idea now, can you?
Oh, certainly you can. But my point is, these things are just programmed for certain responses and to mimic things. Sure, one's done with a computer and one's done with a keeper, but it's basically the same thing.
Look, you don't have to tell me that that's not James. That's James right over there.
Yes, I understand that, but even I have to admit, it's different when you're staring that thing directly in the face, and it's reacting in ways that you may not have reacted to, even if it's wearing your face. You might think that it's its own person. It's not. It is a fairy chat bot.
I know.
And we're just hitting the delete button. With
Fairy
power
chat.
tools in my case, but delete button nonetheless.
Fairy chatbot sounds like the name of a gentleman's club.
Not wrong.
You know, Frizzy, he really ought to talk more.
Fairy chat bot is the name of my Daft Punk themed Led Zeppelin cover band.
In any case,
There's a better one. No, Enya. Daft Punk themed Enya cover band.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, the information that you're gonna need on the building and all that stuff that you wanted me to gather is gonna take me at least a day. So, any
Right.
preparations you need to make, any gear you need to get, if any of you need to buy anything relevant, you got some time.
And how much free time are you going to have in the next 2 days?
To be honest, plenty. It's mostly gonna be Fixer that's doing the work.
So now I've handled the psychological part. Now I'm handling the logistics. We're
Yes.
getting the plans from Fixer about the layout of the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as far as I've gotten. I don't know what weapon to use. I don't know if we want to do a scenario or we just want to sneak in the middle of the night and then put out a press release about it's like, oh, they've decided to go save this rare animal in the Amazon rainforest and they have an as yet undetermined return date.
I would suggest a quiet kill. Sneak-in would probably be good. And then once that is handled, and that'll be obviously a hole. That's going to be a hole. I say you book the flight or do whatever it is you're going to do and then announce after the fact.
Right.
They're prominent enough people that you want to say, oh, they are going there, because there might be some press people or the like who might try to cover it. And then if they're not there,
That's true.
it's a problem. So that would be my suggestion.
So after they're already dead, that's when we do the cover up.
Absolutely.
Cassandra's just going to walk over to Tyr and hold up both hands and extend one gun.
One or
any the one you got on you.
What?
all right.
What?
Other hand knife.
What? Wait a second. What?
What's going on?
Hold on.
Aren't you going to
Nice.
ask why she needs those?
I mean, not really. She says that she hands over Colt M1911 and a just a Bowie knife.
She's gonna walk over to Joe. Hands.
You,
If you're going to use it, you need to be stabbed in the hand and shot in the hand so you know what it's like.
I was about to say, can you turn around before you hand them to me, please?
She's gonna extend the gun out. like handle to you first.
It is okay. Like you do scissors. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You wanted to know what you wanted to use. Get a feel for it now before you go up against any targets. And after this, if you choose gun, you and I are going to go do target practice.
You're holding a Colt M1911 and a Bowie knife.
Right. How big? And this is Katie's total ignorance, not Joe's. How big is the Bowie knife?
You remember the like Australian, I forget the name of the movie, but this is
Crocodile
the Crocodile
That's
Dundee.
not. This is a knife. Okay,
this is
got
a
it.
knife.
Yeah.
That's a Bowie knife.
That's it. Okay.
I do also still have my buzzsaw, if that's what you prefer. But that takes a lot of getting used to, or a very well restrained subject, or both.
There's also a fire axe floating around somewhere.
I do have my fire axe.
I wouldn't dare take that fire axe from you.
I mean, if you want to borrow my sword or your husband's, I think he's got one.
I wouldn't know how to use it.
The point is, we have many, many weapons to fit whatever style you want, and between a lot of us, we are wealthy enough to buy whatever other thing you may want to use as a weapon.
And the Colt, for visual reference as well, the Colt M1911 is the modern handgun. Like,
yeah.
If you've seen like the sleek rectangular looking handgun from any kind of modern movie, it's an M1911.
1911.
Probably, or a Glock, but it's the same. But it looks the same. Like
6.1. Okay. So, and I guess this is a question for those of you who've actually killed fetches.
Yes.
Did either of you use a gun?
I don't. There was a gun in the room. I don't believe so. It did become a little bit of a blur about 15 minutes in.
That's fair. I can see.
So I don't know. Frizzing, were there any gunshots from the?
No,
I didn't have a weapon on me when I went after mine.
No,
so
it was mostly the power tools.
I strangled it.
Oh, okay.
I don't recommend that particular use. That is a desperation move.
Strangling takes way too long.
Cassandra's walking out of the room.
Strangulation takes less time than you think.
Yes, but it is
struggling after a little bit.
But it is the most for somebody who is in a I want to make sure I can do this situation. Strangling is probably the one you want to do the least because that will be the most traumatizing for you. You will literally be feeling someone die under your hands.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Got it.
That was a blind rage moment. I do not recommend it.
Picture painted. Thank you.
Strangulation review on Yelp.
Gonna...
2 out of 5. Do not suggest.
Yeah, that was very much a in the spur of the moment kind of thing, and I do not recommend trying it.
Okay, that's you know what? I'm good. I'm good with that.
Thinking about it, strangling a fetch to death, at least you have that confirmation that they're dead because they turned to twigs.
You know what? I think
the gun's gonna let you do it from the biggest distance and let you feel the least directly involved.
We can get you a sniper rifle.
No, okay. The knife, okay? Slit their throats and be done with it.
Of course, a can of gasoline would also do pretty well at making you feel less involved. Once you start it, you really can't stop it. Out of your hands.
Yeah, but they can survive that potentially and cause damage, especially if we're doing it in the home.
Yeah, that's my future.
We don't want to burn down the house.
Yeah, that's
I don't want to burn.
The quick and quiet way.
I don't want to burn down the house. I don't want to put gunshots in my walls. Okay. Okay, that's easy.
Well,
Okay, just
I mean, you'd think it would be easy, but there to get rid of blood spatter, but there are a black light or
To be fair,
what's
it's
that
not
material?
really it'll look
Luminol.
like blood splatter at
Luminol.
first, but it won't really be blood splatter in the end. It'll be mulch.
This is also true.
I'm just saying the evidence is easier to get rid of if I just and then there's no gunshot noise, there is no gunshot in the walls in case I fucking miss, which let's be honest.
Also fair.
And also
And it's quieter.
and no
No
fire.
neighbors calling to report a knife stabs.
No, not knife that slits.
Still, you get the point. Now you can, if you want.
I can train you.
Survival knives have saw blades on the other side. If you want a little bit more variety, instead of just this, like they might still run around and gurgle if you just lightly slit. If you just keep sawing until they turn into mold.
I think she gets the picture. A knife cutting the jugular will finish the job. I don't think she needs a full illustration of what you can do with survival tools.
When did fucking Frank become the voice of reason?
Oh, hey, takeout's here. As Frisian excitedly gets up and walks out the room.
I completely forgot about the takeout.
Anyway, we'll get you some practice with a knife. We'll get you used to the weight of it. We'll get you probably a knife that fits your hand better, because that might be a little big.
Right.
You strike me as more of like a karambit kind of person rather than a Bowie knife. I don't know. But we'll get you sorted out. You will have what you need. Logistically, anyway. I should go check on Cassandra. And
Go check on what?
Cassandra.
Tell her I'm sorry. I don't know if I said anything, but I'm sorry anyway, because that's just what I do. I apologize even if I don't need to apologize.
I don't think you need to apologize. But I will convey that to her anyway. So Cassandra, a little bit after you step outside, you see a car pulling up to the front, and then Frisian comes by and passes by to go get the takeout. And about 20 seconds after that, Tyr steps out. You all right?
I don't know how to answer that.
I apologize for
No,
just answering
no.
that question.
She needs to know what she's in for. And I'm glad that even though the circumstances were awful and I'm upset that you had to go through it at all, I'm glad that she knows somebody that she can talk to that's been through this. On the other hand, it tears me up every time you talk about it because I can't imagine what you went through, and I can't possibly begin to think how I would be able to put myself in your shoes and do what you did.
I was really fucking angry and I acted on instinct.
And there's a part of me that worries that if you and I had been in opposite shoes of that, I would have just stayed living the lie instead of fighting.
We'll never really know the answer, but I don't believe that. I think you can get just as angry as I do if you really need to.
If I ever find a way to, I'm gonna find my keeper and make sure they are removed from their existence in whatever way I can.
From my understanding, that's a dangerous prospect. At least, especially if they're in their own realm.
Undersell it much?
I don't have a whole lot of information on them. Understandably, they don't like to make themselves well known. But the organizations that have ever gotten one on a radar have never killed. At least not that I have been able to see in reports. Injured one occasionally, but we've never confirmed a kill that I have seen on record. And that includes everything from lone operatives up to tactical squads up to armored tanks.
Good to know.
Never seen anything bigger than that, or anything that was specifically. Well, no, there were a couple of times that they were going on a specific hunt on record, but those were on the squad level. I've never seen like a full-on mobilized force specifically for taking down one keeper. But that would probably be what it would take. And that would be something for Valkyrie to handle, and I don't know if Valkyrie wants to handle that, or if they care enough.
And who is Valkyrie?
You didn't hear this from me, but Valkyrie is the government's version of what we do.
You know, I think there's a small part of me that never really would have second guessed that. Like, of course, the U.S. government has hunters on the payroll to fight monsters. Of course they do. That just makes sense.
They don't officially exist because why would they? But
well, of course,
this kind of thing, the kind of veil that exists to keep the regular people unaware of the supernatural world is enforced on both sides. The supernaturals don't want to be seen, and the government doesn't want people to panic.
I mean, on top of that, you got to think like if everybody knew that vampires and werewolves were real, you'd have a bunch of rednecks from the south going to hunt them, to mount them on a wall, or you'd have people doing whatever.
That's a lodge.
Oh, good to know. Or you'd have people like Zach Bagans who would make a shitty sci-fi paranormal show about investigating them and never actually interact with one.
Yeah.
I broke Katie.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was taking care of my dog. Sorry.
Good.
He didn't break me.
I've only ever interacted with Valkyrie a couple of times, and every time it was sort of we're taking over jurisdiction, fuck off kind of way.
Sounds like the government.
Okay. Well,
and they're the only people that I could really see mustering the kind of forces that would be needed to actually kill a keeper, and I don't think they make a big enough stink to be on their radar for that kind of thing.
oh, I don't think I'd ever actually go through with it, but A girl can dream.
I mean, if you get your hands on a tactical nuke,
If I get my hands on a tactical nuke, no, I will never get my hands on a tactical nuke. Though I feel like you might have the right connections to do that.
I would have to go through Valkyrie for that, and I don't feel like doing that.
That's
if they would even try and give me that.
That's fair.
There's someone in the cast like, damn it, I have to find a different connection.
I really
Time to
really
build
hope
a
that wouldn't
backyard
just be-
nuke.
Personally, I just really
No!
I personally really hope that wouldn't just be a for me fill out. It's like, oh yeah, let me get you requisition.
I would like to file a nuke requisition form with Task Force Valkyrie.
Sign here, get this stamped by a notary.
Do not build a backyard nuke. First of all, we know whose yard that's going to be in, and no.
It doesn't have to be the nice house. It could be the small house out.
Still no.
Wait a second.
That belongs to 2 other people now.
Yeah, we're living in that house.
For now.
Yeah, you guys are.
Be-
You guys are going to move when I assume.
Well, yeah, we are, but like,
so that means the warehouse goes to Frisian, right? It just hops around the motley for people who don't have homes.
well,
Thing is, it would logically go to Frisian.
It would. It really would. We are 100% gonna have like NSA and FBI raid on that place. When they pick up radioactive materials that we don't know where Frisian got. Who knows how he got his hands on plutonium?
how'd you get him this much plutonium?
No. It's easier to get Americanium. Where did Frisian get all the smoke detectors though?
God damn it.
Oh, God damn it.
Walmart and Amazon.
Before Frisian gets the warehouse, Jackson just installs a bunch of security cameras. And it's like, Frisian, what's with the pile of smoke detectors?
Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Fine. Nothing you need to think about.
Oh.
So what'd Joe end up deciding?
I think they ended up aiming on the knife because it's quiet and doesn't put holes in walls.
Oh, it can put holes in walls, but
not inherently like a gun will.
I would argue that point, but
I'm better aim with a knife than I am with a gun.
I mean, I did watch her kill Marcella with that knife, so.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
She's definitely got enough red hot anger to kill somebody, so it's just whether she can do it on a target that has not attempted to take her life.
And that looks like someone she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for answering that question outright.
No, it's all right. It's information she needed to know, and it's okay.
I'm really, really sorry.
He also wants to apologize, I should rely.
For what?
She doesn't know, but she just apologizes because she feels like she should.
That's a trauma response and something she doesn't need to keep up.
I agree, but I told her I would convey that.
No, message heard and not accepted. So she has nothing to apologize for.
I was about to say shots
That's what
fired,
I
but we're
said.
not using a gun.
Anyway, Frisian's bringing food in. If we want to eat, we should probably eat and get ready.
Yeah.
should call Fixer.
Yeah, you got a lot of phone calls and emails to send off, don't you?
Technically
Okay.
the line of work, so Fixer has nothing to complain about.
I'm gonna guess Fix it gets paid a lot.
Well, the network is a loose organization that doesn't have like a whole lot of correction. Every big organization has some kind of liquid assets to try and help support their agents. The network is mostly like underground. They're not as well funded as the government is with Valkyrie. But most of us have various jobs. I get paid because I do the frontline work. And I get paid a decent amount because of that. Fixer has other sources of income, but still gets paid a decent amount for the intel work they do.
Well, I just want to say that I'm glad that you did not go with Valkyrie then.
They weren't the ones who asked. I don't know whether I would have if they had contacted me first.
Later in the season, Frisian joins Operation Valkyrie.
Though, in my limited understanding of how Task Force Valkyrie operates, usually their agents are handpicked from like elite military organizations and stuff, so I wasn't probably even on their radar.
Well, let's go eat some Chinese food and then figure out what we're doing the rest of the day.
Yeah. So Frisian, what'd you order?
As a player, I have no idea.
Didn't you order like Korean barbecue?
It's like
Oh, that's right.
I think that's what it was.
There was like Korean, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, Mongolian barbecue. Like
Yeah. Yeah, I just picture Frizzy. It's like, oh, I would like to place an order. Okay, where are you ordering? The menu.
Yes.
Food.
One of everything.
With spring rolls.
I've been given a phone and more money than I know what to do with.
So, Joe,
Yes.
just for clarification, once we get there,
Okay.
obviously, once the planning's done and blah blah blah, and we finally get there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand you want to be the one to kill, and that is absolutely fair, and happy to respect that. There are 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want kill and blow on all of them? I'm not trying to lay claim or anything like that. Nothing that silly. I just want to make sure once we get in, like there will be a point where probably like this is the way the Keystone Cops way we handle things. There will absolutely be a point where at least 2 of them will run in opposite directions.
Right.
If it comes down to priority,
Mm-hmm.
which are the must-saves for you to kill and which are the in a pinch, go ahead and crush the fake skull? And if it's none, that's fine. We can try and figure out how to make that work. I'm just trying to make sure before we get into the situation and someone has to improvise.
Ideally, and thank you for pointing this out. Ideally, I would like to do all 3. If I can't do all 3, This just sounds too messed up. Hold on.
I'm thinking that maybe, obviously, this is entirely up to you. But in terms of confirming for yourself what you can and can't do, and getting some kind of peace over the situation, it's conceivable that you could that you could do that with the two people that you already kind of hate anyways, and inflict less emotional trauma on yourself with the third. If you get what I'm saying.
I do.
Again, it is entirely up to you.
Well, I thought I had an answer and now I don't. That's a very good point.
We have time. You can think about it. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure it was something that was raised beforehand. Like I said, before we get in there, and then all three of them run in different directions, and we're like, fuck, which do I go after? Which do you go after? What, etc.
Understood. I
Take your time. You don't have to answer it right now.
Fair enough. I'm gonna give this the thought it deserves.
Good.
Oh,
All the things you don't think you'll have to think about when you're a kid. What if I have to kill all of the fake people impersonating
impersonating my
husband and in-laws?
I-
Which must I kill and which do I just want to kill personally?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're to be quite honest, they're even before this whole Fae business happened. There were a lot of questions I didn't expect to answer in my life when I was a kid.
I mean, that is entirely fair.
Such as, the stuck-up guy that argues with me in the bookstore about summer reading list and what kids should be made and not made to read, and do I punch him or do I marry him? It turns out I did both.
Thank you. James says to one side.
Like, this is news to you?
I mean, no, but
I'd never expected as a kid to answer that question because I didn't think I'd be having an argument with a
stuck-up rich kid, yeah.
with a stuck-up rich kid that loves to argue and end up punching him in the face.
I get you.
And then he came back for more?
Well, I mean, if it helps, he's not a stuck-up rich kid right now. You can punch him in the face and it'll make it even.
No.
Who were we punching in the face and why?
No, he was never stuck up. He just liked to be contrary. And nobody bothered to argue with him, and I did, and so there you go. Because when you're rich, people tend not to argue with you.
Huh, punching someone in the face is really considered arguing.
I've seen plenty of arguments that involves people getting punched in the face.
I mean, water under the bridge. I mean, we're good, obviously.
Right. So
So what do we do now besides eat?
I know I need to go back down to Gatlinburg.
Why do you need to go back to Gatlinburg?
Go talk with Autumn Fright.
What was she doing for you again?
A job.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Employment. Employment. That's right. You know, it would be really because I know. Okay, timeout, Katie. Timeout. Was the discussion about Frisian taking over the the warehouse? Was that as characters or was that as us?
Pretty certain that was out of character.
Yeah.
Character. Okay.
'Cause that was in the nuke conversation.
Say okay. I honestly got
Which-
to the point. I honestly got to the point where I could not remember which one it was.
It was almost certainly out of character. Otherwise, you have Jackson inside yelling about not building a nuke. The Frisian who's outside.
well, I think that was all.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have all had to have been out of character because there were too many people in that
Gotcha.
conversation.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I lost it, so I just can't even remember. So Frisian, you're gonna get a job and you're gonna have a place to stay.
That would be good, yeah.
You might want to ask Jackson about the warehouse that the person James and I could not remember your name. Too many J names. Why do I do that? That James and I are currently using as our house. Maybe, I don't know, you and Frank and Lisa could become roommates. You all need a place to stay. It's plenty big.
Like Frisian looks like he's gonna say something and then doesn't say anything. Like after you say like roommates with Frank and Lisa, it looks like Frisian about to say something and then doesn't.
Okay, well, never mind then.
There's also the issue I need to learn how to drive a modern vehicle. Because even from the warehouse, that's a ways.
Right. So who wants to be the one to teach Frisian how to drive?
Let me look and see if I have any dots in driving.
I am pretty sure I have maybe a dot. Nope. Which you can drive without dots and drive,
Yeah.
to be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that dots and drive are required to do anything more basic than exist in traffic.
Right. Standard driving, anything beyond that.
Anything
Chases, stunts.
I'll look over. I can show you. It's pretty straightforward.
What are we? I have no dots in drive.
I have concerns without any justifiable reason for having concerns beyond.
Do you,
That feels like a justifiable
Frank,
reason
so
for
Frank,
concerns.
do you have a license?
Pulls out a driver's license.
Let me
Is
see that.
current.
Hand it over.
Is it an actual driver's license or is it like ID or permit
on card stuff.
or
Is this? Were you one of the ones who got a new identity with Dr. Croak?
No.
No,
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there yet.
I wasn't there. I think my ID still says Frank
Yeah.
until I'm Lisa, and then somehow it says Lisa, and we don't question it. At least that was the case when I popped out, and nothing has changed since then.
So wait, so when exactly did you learn how to drive? Like, is there a state on that thing?
I feel like it just says Tennessee.
So my only concern is what happens if there's heightened emotion while you're teaching Frisian how to drive and you change identities mid-lesson.
What are you talking about?
my bigger question?
Reminder that Frank is unaware that Lisa
Yes.
and him are the same person.
My bigger question is, when was the last time in your experience, not chronologically, you drove?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
It's a
Let me make this a
hard
little bit
question.
clearer for you. When we saw you, you went in and out of the hedge in a matter of an instant. And during that time, as far as we are aware, you spent as much as decades, century, millennia. Fuck if we know.
Yeah.
So when was the last time in your experience of time passing that you were behind the wheel of a car? Because I don't care if it's I don't care if it was a day before you got taken. If in your memory that was 150 years, you need to learn how to drive again too.
They even have driver's licenses 150 years ago?
You know what I mean. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long the driver's license is.
Oh, okay.
Because as far as his experience is, it's been much longer than that.
That's true.
I mean, it's not something you forget. You turn the wheel, press the gas, press the brakes, use the clutch, unless you got a automatic, in which case, forget the clutch. We're probably going to forget the clutch.
Let's hire you a driving instructor.
You do literally have piles of money.
Like out of character, there's completely an argument for people being retested because they don't always remember how to drive properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am very curious what happens if Frank gets behind the wheel of a car.
You're not going to find out behind the wheel of any of
Jackson's car.
Jackson
cars,
is
that's for damn sure.
Jackson does not want to know. Jeremy does. But Jackson does not want to know.
Watch, there's going to be like an emergency or some shit where Frank is going to be the only one that can take the wheel.
Apparently, I'm the only one with dots and drive.
Are you?
The rest of you said you didn't have dots and drive.
I don't.
All right, I have 2 experience. Time to take Dotson Drive.
I have dots and drive.
Correction. I should correct that statement. You have dot in
I
drive.
That's more than anyone else. I feel like Frank very specifically has that dot and drive. No, Lisa probably has a dot and drive too. Just a very different kind of skillful driving.
It's gonna go so poorly.
Also, I I can actually teach you, Tyr says, as the person who has
Winner, chicken dinner.
who has most recently in personal timeline actually driven a vehicle. And like, I might not be driver, but I am actually good at driving.
I think it's better that he learned to drive not from driver.
There.
That is, well, I would like to second that point.
On the other hand, the World War II vet driving like driver.
Sounds like a good time.
It's another one of those YouTube videos, right?
Oh my god.
Just like World War II vet learns how to use an iPad.
World War II vet learns how to drive from a stunt driver.
Are
I
you
feel like
sure?
only the changelings would appreciate these videos because they know it's true.
Oh.
They know it's not sensationalized.
Like the changelings appreciate the videos. The thought also comes to mind: the vampires resent the videos because they aren't sure if it's a masquerade breach.
Oh, is YouTube a masquerade breach?
Yeah, it certainly can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That depends. Did you breach the masquerade on camera and then it got uploaded to YouTube? Because yes.
That's violation.
But yeah, like just a vampire that sees, wait a minute, this says World War II vet. They don't look in it over 20. Is this a vampire doing stupid shit on the internet?
I mean, the context there would be like,
Is it broad daylight? Yeah.
Yeah.
does it say World War II vet just because somebody uploaded it by that? Or in the video, does the person say, I'm a World War II vet when they look like they're 20 years old? Like, I can upload a video of somebody saying World War II vet. That doesn't mean they're a World War II vet.
So Tyr's gonna teach Frisian how to drive.
Yeah,
Apparently.
probably handle that.
No trust in Frank.
Frank, it's not that we don't trust you. It's that we
that is exactly
incredibly do not trust you.
Huh? Just trying to help.
Don't trust Frank as far as they can throw him, which, to be fair, Frank is not a very heavy person.
Not a light person, but he is not a particularly heavy person.
Time for a Frank throwing contest.
But you'd have to get Lisa for that one.
I mean, if Lily said that she could trust you as far as she could throw you, that would be a different story.
I mean, she can probably throw pretty far, huh?
Yeah.
That reminds me, isn't Lily still here?
Yes, Lily is still here with Dawn.
Yeah, because they're part of the murder plan.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I totally forgot.
See, if we didn't want to raise alarms, Cassandra would suggest her sister just transform in front of the security team, and then we don't have a security team anymore. Just weaponize delirium.
In fairness, do we know about delirium?
Cassandra at least has had it sort of explained.
Okay, fair enough.
They don't know the full details of it, but they do know that regular human beings have dramatic, insensate panic attacks in the presence of full-blown werewolves.
we're not under we're not under the auspices of the litany. Therefore, if we convince somebody to break the veil, that's not on us.
I thought we were trying to do this under.
No, yeah.
Radar.
I'm joking.
I'm fairly certain that would get a few notices.
I mean, really, that depends. It depends on whether that security footage gets out or not.
Yeah, but the less the
Yeah.
fewer notices, the better.
So, all right. Ultimately, for that, we are waiting for Kid's information.
Right.
Figure out where to proceed from there.
Which is going to take a day or two.
Right.
I'm gonna go call Fixer while we're talking here, and Tyr will step outside, pull out their phone.
As Jackson's attention then pivots over to Frisian.
Who's
So,
eating?
since we have a couple days, we got your wizard problem. Or maybe not problem, we don't know.
Conundrum.
Mystery.
Curiosity. Still need to figure out how to approach that. Because I think as we had mentioned, if your what did we figure it was, great grandnephew, something like that.
Something great. So many greats. Nephew.
Can't be that many greats.
A number of greats.
Let's just say great for now. We'll figure out the details later. If your great grandnephew is some kind of wizard or whatever the fuck it is, then explaining your situation isn't so much of a problem. You just need to figure out how to figure that out.
Like the main thought that's come to mind is like it was his necklace had that emblem, and ask him about that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's family heirloom, or it's something he got from a partner years ago, or something like that. Or maybe it's his.
He's a wizard.
Listen, I understand. I understand. It's too coincidental to be. But before we start dropping secrets, we should at least confirm.
I wonder if a wizard can see through the mask.
Fuck if I know.
I've never
Probably
met.
depends on the wizard.
Then again,
I also love how we've all defaulted to wizard instead of mage, which is great.
Well,
Like,
would they really? Hold on,
the
would they
only
really?
thing
They
that,
really wouldn't know the word mage, though.
No, they wouldn't.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tyr just called it witch sign. So
Like your fancy words, magic man.
Yeah, go up to him and say that and see what happens.
Fine.
Hey, cool necklace. Are you a witch?
I mean,
no, that works.
Yeah. She will just hold up the pentagram necklace hanging from her neck.
I know no shortage of Wiccan. Well, did during my time, or knew. Remember, I grew when I was. Well, we're not going to discuss when, but there was definitely a certain a spiritual enlightenment happening. I'm trying to figure out what Shawnee is calculating.
That's what
I'm doing
Successes.
I'm doing generational math.
Oh, okay.
Because your sibling would have had a kid in their 40s, who would have then had a kid in their 40s, who would be in their 20s ish.
So that's just like great.
I think there's one more generation in there because he's relatively young and it's in the 2020s.
Okay, hold on.
Versus
X,
it being
Y.
in the 2000s.
To Z, that would be nephew. Okay. This is
I think he's
40s.
your great grandnephew. I think it's one great.
Nope. If you're assuming, okay, 40s, and then 20.
Yeah.
It's 20, 50. Great nephew would be 50 years. Great grandnephew would be 50 years. Great grandnephew would be 70 years.
So it's 2 greats.
So about 70, about 2 greats somewhere thereabouts. Allowing for some.
It would have been because he would have been 20 something in World War II. His sibling would have had a kid around his 40s.
Okay.
Who would have then grown to be about their 40s.
60, 80.
And
that's grand. That is officially grand at that point.
Sorry, that would be. They would have been 20s in the 40s. They would have had a kid in the 60s.
Right. That's nephew. 80s would be grandnephew.
And they would have had their kid in the aughts when they were 40-ish. And that would be the kid that you're talking to who is now 20 something.
Yeah, that's great grandnephew.
Yeah, great, 2 greats.
Yeah, so
I was right. Accidentally right.
Okay,
anyway,
their brother's kid would have been their nephew.
Yes.
Yes, and then grandnephew, and then great grandnephew, and then great grandnephew.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway. So yeah, there are. You can literally go up to someone, and are you trying to recalculate
no,
now?
It's only a great grandnephew because it's their brother who had a kid in their 40s.
Right.
That would have been their nephew.
Correct.
Born in the 60s.
Correct. Grandnephew would be 80s.
Aughts, who is now 20 something.
Wait, if they were born in the 80s,
if they were born in the 80s, they had. If they were born in the 60s,
like they
would have been in their 40s. In the okay, you're right.
Yeah.
So
his
just
brother's kid was born
great grandnephew.
And then that person's kid was born in the aughts, who was the kid that you were just talking to.
Fair enough.
Great grandnephew.
Anyway.
I'm still saying I was right. Anyways, what the fuck were we even talking about at this point?
Talking about going up to somebody and saying, "Hey, I like your necklace. Are you a witch?"
That's right. Yeah, no, that's something that you can absolutely do.
I'm not saying, but if you've never met this person before, just walking to them up on the street and
I would do it anyway. Absolutely. Have you never had somebody come up to you and say, "Oh, that's something very interesting that you are wearing or that you are looking at. Does that mean this?"
I mean, I've had people compliment like shirts and jewelry, but they don't assume that I'm something because of that.
Yeah. You have
Marlena.
Say it.
Nope.
Say
nope,
it.
Nope.
Say it.
You're straight presenting, Joe.
Right.
I have a vague memory of
your hetero privilege is showing.
I'm sorry.
I have a vague memory of when I was younger, and just randomly stop people randomly stopping on the street and just having entire conversations. based on nothing. Like just like a band T-shirt type of thing.
Would they have had band T-shirts?
No, it probably would have been like they had a record in the bag for Frisian's time.
Listen, I'm just gonna say, none of y'all lived during the time of hanky codes, so. Oh, just the hippie era in general, where they would assume any number of things based on what you were wearing and come up and just begin a conversation based on that. Or, assaults.
Hmm.
So yeah, that is definitely something that we can do.
I mean, it's the most
Probably
strict-
not you, but somebody can just
I say
come
probably
up and
not
be
you
intrusive and nosy.
talking to Frisian.
Yes. Because it wanted to be some random person as far as he knows. Because if it's not, then we want to.
Oh, so we're saying
Reaction could be good. Reaction could be bad.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It should absolutely be you, Joe.
Wait, what?
It should absolutely be you.
I am not.
I'm going to say this in the most polite way possible. This is not a statement about who you are. It is a statement about how people will react based upon their first impression of you walking up to them on a street. You give nosy ass straight white woman.
I'm not going to say thank you for that.
No, you shouldn't. And it is not who you are. At the very least, it's not who you want to be.
Trying very hard not to be offended.
It is. I will just say it is how you present, which may or may not be the same as how you are. I am being nice.
You really took that justification and walked it back into a veiled insult.
Listen. Sometimes when you're trying to over-explain things, you turn all the way around to the wrong side of it.
Like you came around with that's not who you are, and then you walked it back.
My point being, it is how it is how somebody on the street who has never met you before might very easily assume. I will be frank, I could also do it, but this person has already met me, albeit however briefly.
Look, if you need somebody to walk up and just be a weirdo, I know a gal for that.
No, we're not trying to scare them off.
I'm just saying, if you're worried about lasting impressions,
I'm not worried
if
about
you want someone to walk up and be a total weirdo and ask a blunt, upfront question, I know a gal for that.
I understand.
But it has to be blunt. It has to be outwardly blunt, but also subtle. Because we don't want somebody to come up and say, "Hi, you're wearing that necklace. Are you a mage? Can you change reality?"
Okay, so if you need something a little bit more subtle, I know a guy for that.
Can I remind you that this is the person to whom you're referring to is the same one that made fan art of fire-breathing toddlers that nobody asked for?
There's nothing wrong with
that.
I see no problem with
you
this.
didn't want it.
And
I see no problem with this, with that part of the scenario.
No, I'm just saying with that kind of like fangirl.
Yeah. Look, the person can shape reality, not turn into a dragon or a werewolf. It's not that exciting.
Sorry, I do not. Jackson does not do that. That was Jeremy. Fucking any vampire or werewolf who says, "Oh, it's just a mage." They deserve everything that happens to them after that.
To be fair, the mage will also deserve what happens to them after they respond to that.
For sure, but that's the nature of paradox. That's how it works. So when they sit on their furry new lawn chair,
and it snaps back into a werewolf around them.
no, it'll just be like they will sit on their furry new lawn chair and then they will get an aneurysm. Probably only a light one. Because it was probably vulgar without witnesses.
It's just a small aneurysm as a treat.
Because weirdly, a werewolf doesn't count as a witness for vulgar magic.
Well, yeah, because like the supernaturals don't count as witnesses in general.
Correct. So yeah, when he sits down on his furry lawn chair, puts his drink on his undead side table, he'll just bleed a little bit from the nose and he'll be fine.
And then, as is described in the Mage Handbook, the reason you do not make werewolves and vampires into furniture is that eventually they will get out of it. And
I mean, they might. They might.
I do love there's an entire block in the Mage 20 book about here's the legendary vampire lawn chair, and here's why you don't do this.
Yes, there are a number of reasons why you don't do it, but there are also ways around that, because if you get if the key is in the transmogrification, you also pull the life out, or the prime, the quintessence out of them, so that they are no longer living beings. At that point, you're killing them, but you know, which is not quite as fun as your lawn chair being angry at you, but safer. Anyway.
But yes. Is it roughly this point that Tyr walks back in? All right, call's placed. Fixer's working on it. What did I miss?
I've just been insulted.
I mean,
you didn't miss much.
I mean this with no disrespect, but what else is new?
I know.
Listen, I was not insulting you. I was
Can't
explaining.
wait to hear this. You want a shovel?
I was explaining
Mm-hmm.
that you present a certain way in your initial, based off nothing regarding your personality or anything like that. You give off basic nosy ass bitch. Anybody who disagrees with me in this room can speak up right now.
Look, there's a lot of drama going on here, and I'm really not here for it. So, Frizzy, why don't we go find this nephew of yours and talk to him about being a reality-bending wizard?
That's exactly what you're not going to do.
Frisian, do you think they're overcomplicating this?
Brizzy just has a mouthful just looking at you. It's like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm just trying to eat.
Fair enough. You first, then reality warping wizards.
You can take that silence from the room to mean what you think it means.
Listen, Joe, I don't think you're a nosy ass bitch. I think you might be a little nosy sometimes, but definitely not like. I don't think it's a core party personality.
No,
I think we got a
but
group of people that overthinks and overcomplicates everything with a whole lot of words that they keep repeating over and over again, and a way to try to insult each other in an endearing way.
You described half of my family.
That's a family?
I'm not being insulting in an endearing way here.
You're just being insulting? Fair enough.
Not even that.
Meanwhile, James, honey, you have anything to say?
I
For
don't think
God's-
there's literally anything that I could say that would make thing better.
For God's sake, I'm trying to say that we all give particular impressions to people who have never met us before when we come up to them on the street. And that is the one that you would most likely give off. That's not an insult. That's not even an endearing insult. That's not a read. It's just fact. I have particular things that people would assume of me too when I walked up to them on the street, depending on how whether I'm in drag or not. There's going to be different ones, but they're both going to be good and bad. Not everything I say is an insult. I promise you.
On that note, Joe, you and I have training scheduled tomorrow morning.
Okay.
That sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see how well you handle a knife.
That definitely sounds like fun.
Well, let me know if you need my help with anything, Lisa says. Or Lily says.
Who says?
Lily.
Oh, Lily. I thought you said Lisa. I'm like, you're not Lisa.
I did say Lisa at first, but Lily. I corrected it to Lily.
Listen, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the. So I have to be the basic white bitch. I have to do the fucking knife training. I have to decide which one of these people do you want to kill the most.
You don't have to do an approach. We can absolutely have Frank do it. I was just throwing it out there as a possibility.
You sounded pretty sure of yourself.
No, I was-
sounds pretty sure of himself. And full of
I am a confident bitch. This is true. But when we're brainstorming, it's just brainstorming. We could get anybody to do that.
You know, there's a third option here. I'm saying, I am a practicing pagan. I have plenty of iconography that I can wear to show that as well. And it's an easy icebreaker.
That said, if you do that, it might be a little too subtle. Might be mistaken for just a practicing pagan and not somebody insinuating something a little deeper.
We're not trying to insinuate anything.
We're trying to insinuate that this person's a wizard, right? That's the goal.
No, we're trying to figure out an answer. We're not trying to assume anything.
Based on what I've understood, Lily says, as the relevant, I don't know, I do storytelling and twists and turns kind of thing. what I gather they're trying to aim for here is to try and get an answer by asking if they're a witch or some variety, to figure out whether or not that necklace is just for show, something they inherited from family, or something that actually means something to them.
We don't need him to say the words. I am a witch or wizard or I don't know, whatever the fuck. We are trying to figure out whether that is just some pretty jewelry he bought, whether it's a hand me down or something like that, or whether it's legitimately his. And then we can go from there. You have to be kind of roundabout on figuring out if he is whatever.
So once we know for sure, what do we do with that information?
Well, then if we know that he is supernaturally inclined, then it's a lot easier to approach him under the, hey, I'm your great great granduncle, or great granduncle, and also I'm a changeling. If not, then we have to figure out some other way to approach that does not necessarily.
And the thing that kicked this all off, we can ask what's up with like why the symbol showed up at the strip club last night.
Ain't asking about a strip club a little like too personal? Ask when you just met somebody off the street?
But if we've confirmed that he is the magic man, we can ask if he knows why his symbols showed up there. Like, this is after we confirm if that necklace is like his or not.
Absolutely.
Oh, so these are two different conversations.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been overthinking this. It is just Frisian's grandnephew.
Oh my God.
As we've all clearly been overthinking things, Shawnee is just overthinking which level of
it's the thing that sticks in my brain until I figure it out finally.
How much information does everybody know about this person and where this person is?
So in general, most of you had never seen them before. It's literally only Frisian has actually encountered them on their job.
Not sure I met him.
Oh yes, you also met them once. So two of you have actually seen this person.
And they probably would have seen a picture with Marlena, or not, Marcella.
Yeah. And you would have seen their picture from Marcella's information, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got pictures, we know the symbol, and we know where they met.
Yeah.
Correct.
Cool. Sounds good. Don't worry if you can't see Frank in the near future.
With that, as this is getting laid down and people are preparing for what to do next, that's where we're going to take our break.
All right.
So, remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So sit up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back after these commercial messages.
We back.
Call that story.
Just back and nothing else.
Are we back, folks?
All right. So, I believe plans have been made. Frank, where are you headed?
I'm headed to where this guy jogs.
Fair enough. Is anyone either stopping or following Frank?
Is
I'm
anybody
trying to slip
aware
out
that
without
Frank
being
is
noticed,
leaving?
yeah.
Roll me dexterity and stealth. We'll see whether or not you even make any successes on this.
Is he really able to sneak away when he's been part of the conversation?
Yeah, he really hasn't. He's sort of been peripheral to it, occasionally interjected.
Like he directly addressed Frisian though.
Yeah, but he's
like-
kind of been on like.
And then Frisian specifically was like, nah, eating food.
But also,
Also, 0 successes. So apparently can't sneak away, as it
No.
turns out.
Frank just walks off.
In fairness, I don't think that Jackson's going to think anything of that. Don't wreck anything in the house.
I haven't yet.
should we put like a tracker
Not
or
encouraging.
something?
No, because I don't want to be responsible for it when it figuring out where it goes when it beeps angrily. It's fine.
Famous last words.
So I take that as a no. Nobody's following Frank as they leave.
No, I cannot think of a legitimate reason why Jackson would follow Frank.
All right.
Now or ever.
So Frank, how are you getting there?
You
Because
say
you're
that
kind
now.
of across town from where this person jogs.
Starts to jog.
It's a darn good thing that it's Frank and not Lisa, because Lisa would just take a car. Because Jackson has enough.
And
Frank will take an Uber.
Okay. So, easy
A
enough.
pogo
You-
stick.
You arrange an Uber to the right section of town. Now, however, we are going to have to require another roll, which is going to be wits and either streetwise or survival to actually locate the person. Give him a minute. He's talking to Holly. I believe. Was
Sorry. She had way more groceries than was reasonable to carry. And then I realized that they're all like chips, so they're super light.
how dare you doubt your wife?
In wife, you mean the sentient walking thing of bags that I can vaguely see Holly through? Okay, sorry. Wits.
And either survival or streetwise to actually find this person.
Cool. Streetwise and survival are the same. And hedge sense is not going to help me here, so.
No.
What does spending willpower give me?
3 extra dice. Roll another one. You got a 10 in there. All right, just 3 successes.
3 success.
All right. So with 3 successes, it takes you a bit, and you sort of have to like get a feel up and down the jogging path before you notice the individual, dark, short hair, faintly tanned complexion, on the jogging path, and you do recognize the symbol that had been burned into the wall on the club is being worn around his neck, just on like a silver chain.
And just to clarify, I went ahead and rolled the Frank or Lisa check.
All right.
So, Lisa will approach.
Oh no.
As
So what's this guy
Joe,
look
oh
like?
no. As Katie, oh yes.
So He's currently dressed in jogging clothes, so like white tank top, like sweatpants. His hair is like black, and it's cut short, but not too short. It's like pulled back in like the shortest ponytail possible. He is of Asian descent. No particular like immediate signs that would say of any particular region other than just general East Asian. But is slightly tanned and well built, probably a little taller than Frisian, and seems to be in good shape. Doesn't look to be overly muscular, but definitely lean and sturdy. And it just seems to be out for a jog. They don't look too winded.
Okay. Is this like a general area where people would be jogging?
It's sort of like a few city blocks. Like it's not like a jogging path, but it is an open stretch of city that people could jog on if they wanted to.
Okay. Because this person is clearly just doing a routine jog.
Pretty much.
So I should probably. And I assume I've been looking for this person. So presumably the easy way to do that would be to basically be jogging myself.
Pretty much.
For all intents and purposes. Perfect.
Probably jogging counter to what you would expect their path to be.
Yeah. So let's. Oh no, this is not Frank. This is Lisa. Let's go for a straight up introduction.
Oh, no. See it at a distance.
Kind of wave.
Oh, I should note, it's Lisa in the mean. What does the mask look like right now?
As normal, at this point in time, probably looks like. I mean, so the mask always looks very androgynous.
Yeah.
Either a very athletic woman or a very effeminate guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing changed. I don't have anything that changes my mask.
No. Not unless you use a specific contract or something.
Yeah. And my mask generally looks like wearing Under Armour plus whatever I've got on over it, which for jogging. What time of year it is? It's fall, right?
It's fall. Yeah.
So,
it's a little chilly, but not cold.
So wearing Under Armour would be completely reasonable jogging wear.
Yeah.
So Lisa's probably naked then.
Yeah.
Because that would be the most reasonable thing to do.
Totally reasonable.
My naked is very different than your naked. It's fine.
Wearing jogging like sports shorts and a sport tank top. Basically.
Right.
More like sports. More like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like the sweat wicking, like long sleeve shirt and long pants.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. It'd be very, very appropriate for fall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't have been shocked if you had said no. Totally normal version. Just wearing like a snuggie.
No. So wave at the from a distance. I'll kind of perk up and wave as I see somebody else jogging.
Mm-hmm.
See if I get a response from that, or if this person.
You do get the how do nod, the light nod as they acknowledge your presence, but they don't seem to be like slowing down because they don't seem to think they're aiming for a conversation.
That's fine because I'm definitely aiming for conversation, and he doesn't need to slow down because I can join him, whether or not he wants me to.
Oh my god!
Excellent. Okay.
So kind of pivot to pull alongside, and just scream and say, Hey, you jog this road often?
Just real quick, give me
Presence
presence and expression.
Presence and expression. Oh, yeah, boy.
Did you just come here often with jogging shirt? I love it. I'm here for this.
There's an awkward number of above average rolls, but none of them are 9s or 10s. Is it
And
just
one
9s and
success,
10s?
There's an 8.
There's an 8,
Eight.
okay.
Yeah, it's 8s and above.
Cool.
Oh God.
It's a success. That means it's not catastrophic failure.
No, it is not a catastrophic failure. It is not a failure. It is a success. So this individual like raises an eyebrow as they're jogging, but like whatever. And it's like, I mean, yeah, this is probably my like my usual jogging route. I occasionally hit the park like once a week, but this is my daily.
Sorry, I'm new to the area. Just getting to know the people. This is a pretty big town, right?
It's Knoxville, so yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm in a pretty small town, so it's been an adjustment and really different kind of people here, and you know, so he's wearing this necklace against his like a jogging outfit, so it's clearly standing out.
Yes, it is silver versus his outfit is mostly like grays and blacks.
So getting to the people. Take a look at the necklace. Oh, nice necklace. I'm guessing it means something since you're wearing it with the jogging outfit.
And he sort of looks down at it. Yeah. It's symbolic. It's sort of spiritual thing.
I think I recognize the symbol.
Really?
Yeah. Might have some deeper meaning. Some might call it supernatural.
Oh no.
All right.
You got Lisa.
Oh God.
I am so excited to be the one that I will be able to be the one who holds somebody back from attacking a party member.
Okay. I need to ask, what kind of vibe are you trying to give with that statement? Give me a manipulation and socialize then.
Oh God.
It's another real power. Because I'd like to not be an armchair.
That'll be one fabulous armchair.
Okay, there's a success. He doesn't lose step in the jog, but you can tell that like a gear just switched in his head as you said that. And he sort of looks at you. Not sure what you're talking about.
Given that response, I would guess you do. Look, I apologize. I'm not the subtle person, but you see something like that and it piques your interest. You don't run into a lot of people.
I'd make a roll for him real quick.
I had no plans on what I was going to do.
How many dice do you have on this?
This is amazing.
Oh, this
I
is
expected
actually, like,
nothing,
directly
yet I'm
within
still
his
disappointed.
This is great.
Cool.
3 successes have come in armchair.
Can I be a stylish armchair?
So he He sort of looks around for a second in the middle of the jog, and just says, "We shouldn't be having this conversation here," and sort of indicates with a hand and sort of starts to pull you off into an alley.
Okay, I follow.
And as you do, he sort of gestures to a door that seems to be swinging open as he walks towards it, and pulls you along through it, unless you resist.
No, of course not.
Oh my god.
As Frank gets kidnapped in the middle of Knoxville.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Austin's next character is going to be.
I just like, there's no self-preservation whatsoever.
Oh, fun.
It's terrible, but it's also hilarious.
My sense of self-preservation was saying, what if I turn that doorway into a portal to the hedge?
Oh god.
Listen, some problems just work themselves out.
Is that Jeremy talking or Elena?
Jeremy's talking, but Elena's mindset.
So the door shuts behind you, and then he sort of like you find yourself in what looks to be like the back room of like an antique shop, which you are fairly certain is not the place that door would have connected to, if anything. But
Do I sense any hedgery?
No, you do not sense any presence of the weird.
Oh, you can open doors too.
But he sort of spins you around to look you direct in the face. All right, fairy folk, what do you want?
I'm just curious.
For what reason?
I've only been in this world for like 4 days?
You have only been in here for 4 days, and yet you somehow recognize me and know that there's something more.
Well, I'm not 4 days old.
No, I gathered that.
Yeah. I stopped celebrating birthdays after the 1st century. That my keeper wasn't a fan of them.
There's also 2 of you.
What do you mean? Frank's around here somewhere.
No, I'm not pulling that thread just yet.
I think he went the other way to look
Pull
for
away.
you.
Pull away.
And
How did you recognize me?
By your symbol.
Where did you see it? And how did you know what it is?
My friends took a picture of it when they were at a club.
What was it doing at a club?
I don't know, but I figured since you're wearing the symbol and they didn't know why the symbol was at a club, maybe you could. Also, one of them is your great uncle, maybe just great uncle. He's an uncle of some number of generations.
Oh my god.
Sorry, it's Lisa.
It's okay. We don't need this problem to work itself out, because I'm pretty sure Frisian is going to murder you.
You see this gentleman like tilt his head. I'm sorry, what?
Your great uncle, who was kidnapped after World War II, when getting back by the Fae.
Oh my god!
in Arcadia for like, I don't know how long, a long time. He doesn't remember how long either because he was a statue and it's kind of funny
Oh
how
my
long things are when you're a
God.
statue. Anyway, so he came back and then I came back and then we met.
I need to make a rule for Andrew. Okay.
Nobody let any person in our commons know that Frank just spilled all this to a person.
Oh God.
Frank just word vomiting.
Frank did nothing. Frank is not involved with this.
Lisa
No, this
just
was
word
Lisa.
vomiting to a mage.
Oh my God. We're all gonna die.
No, just Frank/Lisa.
For all we know, he'll do some sort of weird trick that will just kill Lisa and Frank will be fine.
Could also happen. I'm not going to say it can't.
Okay, hold still for a second, he says, as he just sort of points at you, and I need you to make a stamina and resolve check.
Oh no.
It.
Where is stamina?
I was joking about Austin's next character. But this light also doesn't get any redder, so that's where we're at.
Okay, which means he needs to oppose that.
Blood has been spilled.
These two spheres and his ability to cast.
Oh my God.
And 12 dice. So you suddenly find yourself unable to move.
Can I talk?
No. As he points at you and you freeze for a second. And he just takes a second, turns around for a second and just tries to process. And it's just I need things to pause. And then he sort of looks over. I sense someone else in your head who might be able to explain this a little better. I'm sorry, but I need to actually understand what's going on. And he just sort of taps you in the forehead. And he's going to cast another thing. Another 5 successes.
Oh,
roll me resolve and composure.
I was expecting a lot worse from the pointing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
Okay. With exactly even, you have a choice. He is attempting to pull Frank out to talk to Frank. Do you resist or allow that? All right, so the paralysis fades as Frank comes to the fore.
Sorry, Lisa came to get me. So, your name?
Andrew Cho.
Frank.
I'm going to need you to run everything by me again.
I'm not sure what Lisa told you.
Whole lot of jumbled nonsense.
All right. Well, number 1, do you see?
If I focus, yes.
All right. Cool. Well, that takes care of that bit. I'm from Arcadia. Been here for a few days. And, well, fascinated by the symbol around your neck. It's shown up somewhere else.
Which you saw in a bar.
Some sort of club.
So you're not one of the ones who actually saw it.
No, they took a picture, though. Phones are pretty impressive things.
Oh, someone in the circle is going to be in so much trouble.
I take it the circle is your equivalent of an organization that practices what you practice.
Let's go with that for now. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, based on the fact that you recognized it and didn't just think it was a weird symbol, somebody that you know is knowledgeable about this.
Some people who talk a lot, say a lot of things. I do know one guy is knowledgeable.
I need to meet this person.
He is probably the person who's least likely to want to meet you. But I'll see what I can arrange.
Okay. Because quite frankly, I might need their help fixing whatever someone else broke.
They're pretty well connected, and if I can convince their wife, then
Cannot believe I'm about to do this, but at the very least, I am not about to mess anything up too badly. Strictly speaking, you're not even a witness.
now to clarify, they're probably not going to want to meet you in their places. They're not going to feel comfortable about that.
Yeah, we can reach a neutral ground. What was that about my uncle?
Oh, Lisa doesn't know when to shut up, does she?
Apparently not.
Because that's news.
Look, we're gonna let him introduce himself, all right?
Yeah, okay. This will probably be worth having. Why not? Just have a meeting with my apparently fairy granduncle. What? And someone who recognized my symbol, but is probably not part of.
Probably the safest place to meet would be my little spot in the hedge.
No.
No, I'm not crossing dimensional boundaries.
It's not the hedge proper.
Oh, Jesus.
Still not crossing dimensional boundaries.
All right, fine. I'm just going to be up blunt because you seem like a trustworthy person. Do you have any sort of ability to trace phone calls with your magic?
I can do a lot of things with my magic, but I'm not a technocrat. I don't do that kind of thing.
Cool. Good to know. Which one should I call? Which one's going to be the least ticked off?
The answer may surprise you.
Frank's legitimately thinking that might be the answer. Tier's going to be ticked off. Joe's probably going to be ticked off. If Tier's ticked off, Cassandra's going to be ticked off. I don't know how Frisian's going to be. Am I really calling him? Fine. Jackson, your phone rings.
So how long has this been?
I'm gonna say about, because it was an Uber ride, so you didn't have to wait that long. I'm gonna say it's been about 45 minutes.
All right. So, guys, where did Frank go?
Ring, ring.
I think we're about to find out.
Pick up. Please tell me you're not calling me from the another room in my house.
I'm not calling you from your house. I'm not calling you from my spot in the hedge.
No, because I don't think he could.
And I'm kind of curious.
No, do not call me from your. Do not call me from your halfway home.
All right.
Well,
I think the most straightforward way to do this is to put you on speaker and mind your P's, because I got a fella named Andrew here. I'm gonna hit speakerphone.
Who the fuck is Andrew?
Hi. Apparently, you all know who I am and what I do.
do I know that the did we
You
we
do
have
know that
that name?
Andrew Cho is the name of
Okay.
Frisian's nephew.
Nephew. Yeah.
There's a brief pause. Please hold one moment. Put on hold.
Sorry about this.
Did anybody track where Frank went?
I keep telling y'all we should put a leash on him or something.
The easier way is going to be surreptitiously putting find my friends on his phone.
This is
But
true.
no, I don't
Wait.
know how to.
Chip the cat.
I have not tracked him. But we'll just look over at Bologna.
I do believe he may have decided to solve the answer of who's going to go talk to
Andrew.
your grandniece,
Nephew.
nephew.
The fuck?
Beep. Hi, Frank. Hi, Andrew.
Yeah.
I think it
I'm
might be
gonna need-
beneficial for us to meet up in a neutral location.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have so many questions right now.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Sorry.
Where
Lisa
are
got to
you
him
right
first.
now?
Wait, what'd you say?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
I said, sorry, Lisa got to him first.
Please hold.
Oh my god, it's World War III.
Like, guys, we may have a
Yeah.
problem.
Go
Frank
on.
definitely went to go talk to your grandnephew, and apparently Lisa got to him first.
So how many pieces is Andrew in?
He's talking, so I assume I assume either one or nothing critical has been removed.
I apologize, Andrew. They do like to talk. It takes them all to come to any decisions.
Yeah, I could see
Beep.
why, all things considered. You
Thank
you
you
catch
for
the tail end of
holding.
all things considered.
Yeah. Thank you for holding. What are you right now?
Currently, we're in my antique shop.
Right. All right, I tell you what. There is a. Well, it's just gonna have to deal. There
He already
is.
turned down my place.
So do I. There is a nightclub in Knoxville.
Oh, this and the. Oh, never mind.
Wait, we're going back to Rapture?
Yes. It's gonna be the safest place that yeah. Known as Rapture. It is, and I give the address. We can be there in 20
The
minutes.
place that had that public demonstration. Now I recognize your voice. Okay, cool.
Wonderful. Yes. We will be there in about 20 minutes. If that is acceptable to you.
Sure. Let's get this over with.
That is not an encouraging way to put it, but sure.
There's a whole lot that needs to be discussed.
I would agree. Frank,
Yeah.
whatever you may have decided to say up until now, I don't know what you or Lisa have said. That should be the end of what you say.
I wasn't going to tell him a quarter of the things Lisa did.
Oh, fuck me.
Knowing
We
Lisa,
will
he
see.
probably knows your all your backstories and where you come from and who your best friends are.
I am suddenly feeling the urge
And-
for Haas and Pfeffer.
Maybe not all of
Um,
that, but there was a whole lot of detail that came at me real fast.
All right, we will see you in about 20 minutes.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
Delightful. Hang up. Just stand up and start walking to the garage as I'm calling Violet.
Following.
And just doing like this, like, come on, like, wait.
Hey, darling, what's up?
Hi, I know this is gonna sound very rude and assume, but I need to use your place for about, I don't know, maybe about an hour.
Oh,
For a neutral
Mikasa,
meeting.
I wouldn't probably still wouldn't be here without your help. So
Wonderful. We are going to be there in probably about 20 minutes.
I'll tidy things up.
Thank you. You are the best.
See you
Hang
soon.
up. So, good news. Bad news. Apparently Lisa talked a lot. There's been a lot of information that has been disseminated. I don't know exactly what. Andrew used the terms best to get this over with quickly. That doesn't sound great.
Jackson's just gonna hear the of a gun being cocked from the back seat as Cassandra straps that to her hip.
I don't think we're gonna need to do any murdering.
Hearing that it was Lisa, I agree with Andrew. It's best to get it over with quickly.
Mm-hmm. I think as going in, we should establish priorities before we get there. I mean, cat's out of the bag. So, I guess
Cat's running her mouth.
Determine what Andrew knows. Determine Andrew's intentions. Determine way to go forward from here, if there is such a thing. Get Frank Lisa back. I don't know if anything else goes above that in priority, but anything else goes above that in priority because I feel like everything else is that has been mentioned is high on the priority list.
At what priority is gagging Frank and Lisa?
I mean, in this situation, there is no point at this point.
What if we just want to do it for fun? So we can actually get the conversation over with. Listen,
Joe. Whatever you want to do, you can do. I do not kink shame, but I mean that's what I think of when I think of gagging for fun.
Ugh. I'm just. Never mind.
All right, let's just get going.
Frisian, this is your show. We are just here to back up. So if there's anything that you consider immediate prior, what do you want out of this?
For Frank and Lisa to shut their mouth.
That is absolutely fair.
We can't see what the damage is until we get there.
For sure.
Yeah, let's get there. Let's stop talking in the garage and move.
Oh no, we're driving as this is happening.
Okay, God. Okay.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes pass. You guys arrive at Rapture, and as you are getting out of the car, walking around the corner are Andrew, Cho, and Frank and Lisa. Frank, the walk was very short. He led you out of the front door of his antique shop and you rounded a corner in front of Rapture. This is not where you were about literally when you walked into the antique shop.
All right.
And as the two of you round the corner and meet the rest of the motley, Andrew says to the group, okay, I think it's about time for a long conversation, and we'd probably better have this inside.
Absolutely.
I'm Andrew Cho, and apparently I'm related to at least one of you. And
We will. Yep.
is where we will end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye.